This is Roger Shackelford with Tainted Reality, and we are sitting down with Louis Lovehug, a.k.a. Linkara. So, welcome to MAGFest.
Thank you for having me.
I'm not having you. I'm having you for an interview, but I didn't invite you here. How'd you get here anyway? You review comics.
I don't know. I just kind of woke up here. It's very strange. I'm looking around. Oh, my God, you have blue hair.
Yeah, a little faded, too. But yeah, do you feel out of place here at Video Game Convention?
Oh, no. There's a lot of cross-cultural fan bases among video games and comic books.
Now, of course, we're alluding to your main series, Atop The Fourth Wall. Let's start from the very beginning. How did you get that started?
Started out as text reviews at first, just a little hobby thing. I'd review a text comic via text, have some funny captions and some panels, and it was okay. It was going pretty well for a while, but it was a lot of work. I didn't get much out of it. So eventually I not really. I kind of gave up on it. Went from once every week to once every blue moon. Then I discovered thatguywiththeglasses.com, and I decided, hey, I can do this with comic books. And the rest is history.
Now, your name, Linkara, where does that originate?
That comes from my horrible self-published books I made when I was 14 years old.
Self-published books, what were they about?
Modern-day kid gets transported to a fantasy world. I really should rewrite them because I think there's actually some good stuff there. It's just written as a 14-year-old. There's a lot of really stupid things and things that I thought were considered mature versus what's actually mature.
So you had some good ideas that you might want to revisit with that?
Yeah.
Give us a basic synopsis of what this book is.
Angel Armor? Yeah, the book's called Angel Armor. It's still available. I really need to pull it.
Oh, wait, so people can actually buy it?
Yeah, I really wish they couldn't. I need to pull it.
But yeah, so what's it about?
Like I just said, it's about a modern-day teenager gets transported to a fantasy world. It's the prophesized hero, that kind of deal.
Okay, cool. So how did you get involved with That Guy with the Glasses or Channel Awesome?
Well, I first originally sent in a video for the Ask That Guy contest, and that inspired me to start doing the videos themselves because I had so much fun making it. And from there, after about 7 or so episodes, I submitted to Mike Michaud, the CEO of Channel Awesome, and he liked it, Doug liked it, they all liked it, and I got picked up.
So you do comics, so right off the bat, least favorite and favorite comics.
Most favorite comic of all time, JLA/Titans, The Technis Imperative. Least favorite comic of all time, there are a lot. Just watch my show. Each comic I review ends up being the worst comic I've ever read.
So it's just a progressive downward spiral.
Yep.
Oh, wow. And most of the comics, are they fan submitted to you?
Some are fan submitted to me. Others I find just in quarter bins at my local comic store or at conventions. Okay.
Now, you mainly focus on superhero comics. There's been some divergences, but for the most part, you do superheroes. Why that?
Well, for a few reasons. For starters, the majority of comic books are superhero comics. Secondly, I really love superheroes, so I like to pick apart when they do them badly. Next, well, that's pretty much it.
But you, on Atop The Fourth Wall, you've said some things like, I'm not too interested in doing European comics or Japanese manga or web comics. Is that just to keep a strict focus, or is there a personal dislike there?
No, there's no personal dislike of that at all. I've read several manga, and for example, I really love Steam Detectives. I still want the next volume to come out, even though the company's gone under.
Oh, that sucks.
No, I really like manga just fine. The problem is it's harder to review something like manga because the format is different. The cultural differences really make it like, why are they doing that? Oh, it's because in Japan they do this. Oh, okay. Or for European comics, most of the time no one ever wants to suggest bad European comics. They want to recommend good European comics to me, and the show is all about the bad stuff because it's more fun to make fun of the bad stuff.
Now, do you think, like, with the Japanese stuff, do you think it's like when you see the cultural differences, you just find it hard to rag on that stuff because you see where it's coming from, even though it's not something you really agree with?
Exactly. Though, for a while, I was thinking I would review Cyborg Grandpa G.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's about as nuts as it sounds. So that's what I had thought of doing for a while before I eventually just gave up and decided why Ruler of Time, the actual manga reviewer and that guy with the glasses, was going to have his.
So, forgive me if I'm reading into something here that maybe I'm reading between the lines a little too much. But you've dropped some hints in your videos that you're not too much of a fan of a lot of the trends in '90s comics.
Well, there is one trend I actually do like, and that is the hologram foil embossed covers. They don't really serve much of a purpose, but I like shiny things, and it's really harmless in the grand scheme of things to the comic.
They really help, make you feel like you're holding something special in your hands.
Yep. Feels like something special. It really isn't.
Just another way to get another couple of bucks out of you, huh?
Pretty much.
Cheap 90s marketing. Anyway, but you've attacked art styles a lot. Like, what are some of your gripes with art styles from 90s comics?
Over-muscled proportions. Now, people will say, well, all superhero comics are drawn like that. Yeah, but there's to a degree where it just becomes that's in no way... in any way aesthetically pleasing to look at. There's also the changes in costumes. We'll have superheroes who stop wearing, bright primary colors, stuff that actually looks really nice and, really colorful on a comic book page, to grim and gritty pouches, leather jackets. The leather jackets were fun. I hear, I haven't seen it yet, but Black Knight, a guy who wears armor, he had a leather jacket.
What about writing trends? Was there anything that really stuck out as God damn it?
The primary one, of course, is the grim and gritty. This has to be realistic, because of course, we look for realism in books about aliens and time travel.
Well, it was the '90s. It was supposed to be extreme.
And it looks hideous, and especially it's bad in hindsight because we look at ourselves and wonder, my God, we actually bought these.
Now,
for writing trends, a lot of it comes down to a problem that has been enduring since the 1980s: killing off characters needlessly.
Oh yeah,
because we have to show that this is for serious, yo.
But then death has no weight in most of these comics anyway.
Exactly.
And it just kind of destroys any kind of drama that would be instilled by somebody dying. But that's just my commentary. So let's go back to Atop the Fourth Wall and developing the character of Linkara. Mm-hmm. What was going into it? Because, you kind of have an iconic look. I mean, people around here have been cosplaying you.
I know. I love it.
So, the hat, the gun, A
lot of it I just had around me already. I had the brown hat. I wanted to do that. That was a gift from my grandmother that she got from a flea market. Originally intended for my brother, but it didn't fit his head.
Oh, okay.
So I got that. The brown suede. Is it suede? Corduroy. It's corduroy. It's a corduroy jacket. Feels really nice inside. It gets a little warm sometimes, but I went with that because it matched the hat.
Okay.
And I went with plaid because I like plaid.
Now, the magic gun, though.
The magic gun I bought a long time ago at a Renaissance festival.
That's where he purchased it.
Yep, I bought that at a Renaissance festival. I never knew what I was going to do with it, but I just felt like I really want to spend something for myself. There, $80 down for a gun.
$80 you dropped on that thing.
Yeah, it's wood, and I'm not sure what the metal part is, but it is metal. The thing weighs like 10 pounds.
Best $80 you ever spent?
Oh, yes.
Does it fire caps or anything?
No, it just has the little, the hammer, and you can click it. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
It makes a great prop, though.
Now, I got to get to, honestly, what you've been doing in recent months that I've been paying a great amount of attention to, the history of Power Rangers. Now, so let's start from the beginning. What made you want to start doing that?
Almost a year ago, I did a review of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers #1, and watching that and working on that and doing the in-story fight stuff with it, I just got so inspired by Power Rangers, I wanted to start rewatching it. So that's what I did. I started rewatching episodes of Power Rangers, and I was like, there's a lot here that no one's talked about before. There's this motif of magic versus science, and wow, there's actual character development here and there. And
because you really read into it, you really kind of dived into some subtext. A lot of people were just trying to take it face value.
Oh yeah, I really just enjoyed it. So I started. Well, I really want to keep watching these, and I want to see the stuff that I missed. So okay, I will start doing a history of Power Rangers. Just a big retrospective, and I like old retrospectives where they spend 2 or 3 sentences. I want people to actually know this is what happened in the show that you missed. These are the plot points. If you missed this, I am here to help.
Now, when you initially watched Power Rangers, did you stop after Mighty Morphin, or did you continue on to Lost in Space and then stop? Or
I've continued on. I have right now, as of us talking, I have completed Power Rangers Ninja Storm, which was the 11th, I want to say, season.
Now, I meant when you initially watched it. When
I
you were
initially
younger,
watched it, I just basically jumped around a whole bunch. When I was younger, as a little kid, I watched up until Lost Galaxy, and then I just kind of gave up because they started rotating the cast every year.
Yeah, that's honestly, I kind of stopped after Mighty Morphin, mainly because of Turbo. And when you tore apart Turbo, I'm like, thank you.
But now, re-looking back, Turbo is very, very flawed, but there are a lot of good things to like about it. And I don't think I got across the good stuff as much as I should have.
Well, what were some of the good things that you didn't get across?
I really want to emphasize the music was awesome. It still had that same kind of cheesy feel to it. That it wasn't entirely serious, but it was just epically awesome. The fights were still good, even if the car motif pissed me off.
And then having like a 10-year-old kid as a Power Ranger
That
who just magically grows up.
Yeah, it's stupid, but that didn't bother me as much because Justin's not that bad of a character. It's just he got a lot of the focus, and he was played very well, and because he was the only one portrayed competently.
Now, of the post-main storyline series, which is your favorite?
Post in space, I would probably say either Lost Galaxy or maybe even a little bit of Wild Force. I really liked Wild Force, even though that one gets a mixed reaction from fans.
I thought you were going to say Lightspeed Rescue.
No. Lightspeed is good, too. I haven't really run across a season that I thought is really bad yet. I know it's coming up. Operation Overdrive, I'm not looking forward to at all. But in terms of like actual ones that I've hated, I haven't really hated any of them. There's no season that I just hate every single thing about it.
Now, what were some of the difficulties in researching and editing this project? Because this is a massive undertaking. You're talking about like 15 years, nearly 20 years of TV here.
The research for behind-the-scenes info is the hardest because a lot of it no one really talks about. Most of what I go on relies upon rumors, interviews that other people have made with them, panels that they've done. It's hard to get a lot of this information, but when I do, I feel great about it. I have made a couple of mistakes here and there. For example, I had read that Steve Cardenas had left Zeo because of an injury he had sustained. That was not true. He left because he just felt it was time to move on, like so many other Power Rangers actors. Yeah.
Now, before your Wild Force video, you had a little bit of a PSA for yourself. I take it that the fans like this little saga that you got put on here with this retrospective, but maybe a little too much.
I went on a 6-minute, I wouldn't say rant, because I tried to control myself, not get too pissed off or anything like that. But people were incessantly asking, where's the next History of Power Rangers? Where's the next History of Power Rangers? And then several of them actually said, stop doing Atop the Fourth Wall, do History of Power Rangers.
Wow. How'd that make you feel?
Didn't make me feel good at all. First of all, they didn't seem to understand the amount of work that goes into every one of the shows that I do, especially History of Power Rangers. Secondly, I need to eat. Atop the Fourth Wall is my bread and butter, and I love that. And as much as I love History of Power Rangers, I love Atop the Fourth Wall more.
Yeah, it's your personal thing, But if anything, that's a testament that, what kind of impact you're having on these fans. I've loved this show for, years here.
When I went to Power Morphicon 2, a lot of fans said that the only reason they had come is because I had renewed their interest in Power Rangers.
Wow.
That made me feel really good.
That's a powerful statement right there. So, moving on, what are your impressions of the later seasons after they started revolving the cast? Like a general, feeling about how the series has been handled ever since.
It's mixed. It's a mixed bag. Some of them relies too much on the Sentai that it was based on. Others maybe did too much of their own thing or not enough of their own thing. It's just a varied thing. Some seasons are just doing better than others in some areas than others. I was not a big fan of the change in music, though. I've always been a big fan of Ron Wasserman's music. He did a great job with the scoring of Mighty Morphin Through in Space. And I felt they really missed out on something by keeping him around. But eventually, over time, by the time Wild Force had come out, I was actually really into the new synthesizer music they were using.
No.
Ninja Storm has been using a lot of crappy stock music has really kept me out of some of the mood of it.
Now, when is Ninja Storm coming out?
Ninja Storm will come out once I finish the Dino Thunder review, which will sadly not be for a bit.
Oh, Dino Thunder's next.
Oh, no. Ninja Storm is next, but I have to finish watching Dino Thunder.
Oh, okay.
Because I like to know, I like to be a season ahead, especially since once I reach RPM, I'm gonna need to just release that right away because Samurai is going to be around by then.
More cars, RPM. Oh, great.
RPM, I hear that. RPM's another one that fans seem to have a mixed reaction for.
Now, obviously, your popularity ever since joining Channel Awesome has just been skyrocketing. How have you been handling that personally? I mean,
I love that.
That's a lot of extra load on you.
I have a huge ego. So having fans come up to me and say, "Oh my God, I love your show," it's like, yeah.
Dude, you can't walk 10 feet with this con without getting a posse following you.
Oh, yeah, that's been kind of frustrating. I'm trying to get somewhere, and I have like 3 people saying, "Oh my God, I love your show. Please sign this." I don't mind it. I love it. I love my fans, but sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming. But I love working a crowd. I love talking to people. I love just sitting doing interviews like this. It's just a lot of it is time. I never have enough time to do all the stuff I want to do.
MAGFest, add more days. Well, Atop the Fourth Wall is your main bread and butter right now, right? You don't have a day job anymore. This is it.
This is my day job.
Now,
best job in the world, too.
Was it a difficult decision when you decide to jump ship? Like, just quit the day job. This is it right here. This is it.
It wasn't too difficult a decision. It always feels sad for me because I always feel like anytime I quit a job that I'm betraying them somehow. But you get over it and you move on. And I liked my old job at Barnes & Noble, but I needed to spend more time doing Atop the Fourth Wall because I was making more money doing that.
Did you feel it was a big leap or a gamble, or did you have that security knowing that you were making some significant dough?
I had that security knowing I had that much dough going in.
Now, other than Atop the Fourth Wall, do you have any other upcoming projects?
There's always something in the back of my mind I kind of want to do. I'd kind of hoped to do a Harvey Feinvoice show or a 90s Kid show, but they just never really took off. I never seemed to have enough time to work on them. Plus, they have to be an entirely different format, and I have to have fun doing it because half of this is just having fun doing it.
Yeah. And that's I remember specifically that was something you were saying about your Power Rangers retrospective is, I want to have fun doing this. I don't want it to be a chore.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a point where it did cross over into being a chore? Like, I got to get this video out.
Only when people are heavily demanding it.
Now, we're going to jump into a lightning round real quick.
All right.
Just to get an idea of the character of Linkara and the person of Lewis. Vices or guilty pleasures?
Vices or guilty pleasures? Power Rangers.
Beyond that.
I'm actually a pretty boring person. Occasionally writing, occasionally just rocking out to music and just dancing in my own place.
All right, let me just skip over to that because this will make a good follow-up. Fave music and artist?
It kind of varies all the time. Favorite kind of music is probably going to be a mixture between classic rock, a little bit of classical music just in general. Weird Al parodies, always love them.
Can't go wrong there.
Instrumental stuff. Star Trek soundtracks, especially stuff by Ron Jones, is just freaking awesome.
You like Jerry Goldsmith? Okay, awesome. Fave drink?
Favorite drink? Either Diet Sunkist Lemonade or Gatorade G2 Grape.
Alcoholic beverage?
I have no alcoholic beverages because I've never drinking alcohol before.
Another one. I'm clean, too. Favorite movie and why?
Favorite movie is Camelot, the Richard Harris movie from 1968, I think. I love it because I love the musical, and my favorite book is The Once and Future King, which is heavily based on it. I love Arthurian lore. I love the music. And I model myself after the ideal of might for right.
Oh, wow. Okay, so quick follow-up. What did you think of Excalibur?
Excalibur was good, very trippy, very 70s is what I would say about it. And it had Patrick Stewart in it.
It did.
Wouldn't say it's good or bad, it's just different.
Embarrassing professional moments.
Embarrassing professional moments. Not a lot. When we were filming the That Guy with the Glasses 1-year anniversary brawl, I fell asleep inside of the conference room, and apparently, Benzai was just everyone was doing stuff over me. nothing perverted or bad or anything. They were just how close can we get before he wakes up? Dangle something in front of him.
Is this on video somewhere?
No, there's a couple pictures though.
Oh, okay. Defining professional moment.
Defining professional moment. Probably one of my any one of my big fight scenes. Probably the Silent Hill Dead Alive #5 ending. All the build up to that's one of my. I have a lot of opus reviews, is what I like to call them. Usually the 3-parters, because I like to try to build a story inside of them. But that one I felt very good about. It was there was tragedy, there was heartbreak, there was triumph, and I think there was real emotion into it.
A moment where a fan crossed the line.
I don't have a lot of those. The closest I came, 2 things. One, sometimes fans follow me around all the time, even when I clearly want to be alone. It's not that bad because I understand it, because I used to be in that position. But probably where they kind of crossed the line was one time a fan actually did come to my door and wanted to
Found
donate.
Your address and everything?
Yeah, because when I was first working, I was not. I was very public with my address because people were donating stuff to me. Now I have a P.O. box, and that's great. But when I was first starting out, someone wanted to showed up at my door and wanted to donate $50 to me directly. That was a little.
Did you accept it?
I accepted it because it's money. But I said, "Yeah, I don't feel comfortable you coming to my house."
So you had the conversation with them afterwards.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Most heartwarming moment with a fan.
Most heartwarming moment with a fan. It's hard to say. I have a couple of them. Sometimes over email, I've met. A woman who was transgendered who said that I really had helped her through a difficult time coming out to her family. There's been 1 or 2 fans who have said that they had contemplated suicide before, but I had helped them through difficult times. It really is heartbreaking, and I really appreciate it that I am actually making a difference in people's lives.
Professional goals.
Professional goals: get rich, retire early.
And a final message to your fans.
Watch Atop the Fourth Wall every Monday at 4 p.m. at topfourthwall.blogspot.com or later that evening on thatguywiththeglasses.com. Thank you all for those of you who have watched before.